Indeed, Leanne, and we are here speaking to the community. Many of them were here when the MMC was speaking, and they had an opportunity to listen to some of the explanations that were given by the MMC. And we're just going to get their views on what is actually happening in response to what was said by the MMC, but also just their lived reality, their lived experience of having to make do and put up with the conditions that they find themselves in. Right, I'm just going to go and thank you so much, members of the community, for coming out this morning, for stopping by. We didn't necessarily ask people to come, but they did come out when they saw us. And we appreciate you taking the time to speak to us. But I want to hear, your reality, your lived experience, given what is going on here. I can imagine, how distraught you must be when it comes to the situation, people dying around you, people you may know. And, are you fearful? Are you scared for yourself, Ame? Please just tell us your name and then just give us your view.
The cholera, batho ba tlhokofala ke ditsela tsa rona di tsamaye kore everything le dintlu batho ba nna go di RDP rona re ba re gafela kwa ntle a gona ntho e leng right for rona a ke tsore go diragalang ka ro fetsa ka eng go le so ka re ba councilor le bona a ba ile rona and ma situation ya rona ba itse mara ha ba ile rona ha ba tse site ya rona just because of ke rona re phelang botlhoko ke rona re phelang boima gone ba nong ke di cholera di morona batho ba tlhoko.
Community members saying that the councillors around here are arrogant, not really listening to what people have to say. Me, you've been here, you listened to what the MMC had to say?
Yes, good morning SABC. I'm Mrs. Victoria whatever. Thank you for coming. I heard the MC when he was trying to explain to us as the community of Mashimu, the whole sections. Really, Hammanskraal is disgusting. We are in a very, very critical situation. They always promise, they always say, but they don't act, they don't do. We don't know what to do. Now we've got a big crisis. Cholera is here. Water tanks, they say they plant them anywhere, whatever. I also wonder that, did they test those water? Because now people are dying, about that water. We are scared. To be honest with you, SABC, we are very scared. We don't know where we are going. We've got councillors. We've been reporting, but they don't act. They don't do anything to us. We don't know where to complain. And Hammanskraal people, they vote, But we are standing in a very critical situation. Now we ask ourselves a question. When children are going to school, are they safe? Are we safe at home? What's going to happen? Whom are we going to ask for help? So I want to say to you, thank you very much for coming. I heard everything about that the administrator was trying to explain, but we are not happy. We are not happy. We are in a critical situation. We need a desperate help. That's what I'm saying to you. Thank you for coming. We need a help, a very big help in Hammanskraal. Thank you very much.
Ma'am, before I move on to the next person, in terms of the water that people drink here, are you drinking the water? How are you coping with the water situation? What do you drink? What do you use for washing, cooking? If someone maybe wants to explain to me, how are you dealing with the water situation?
I'm green and vela abulay samal. Nervola kimalashi corona is not say why Miss Anka. Carmora socola camets. Mucansela ramulata ramosa camets. Who cloud or two sort of about to what he said in Lord about what's a modera tensari. Mucansela or was orina are not the title deed. How no racatabari to Sakuanka are not the title deed. And on I am not to specula colbasa, palo in say yagodim. Palo ea yagodim every day. Lernari to maybe learner babambarin, babon. Carbabanchi are not the chelsea or not in the roller mates. Who recabel more by corner in a zone. And about one mazy. How sort of chelta by Giri. Who about to say by Giri, in no baba ramudi put in Sabon. Banamo who pila. Renawa, on an host and a Galifika Mujatiana, or no, or carry take a serious come. Nerupera flora at least about Lady Santa, but the Baruki says a limisi, arable layanga. Gare Eva, Nabanamisi, Aling or Adichida, Godiculu. Le Mohai, ra apea ka ona ene di-washene tsa rena a di sa tloga dilo tse tshweu di a timpala e sa le tse tshweu ka bakeng sa metsi a ka re mo lebakete le le green le le white go ka tshela metsi a la tsena ile a ma-green bjana ga o tsena mo mothong ao ba ama bjang bja ne re kopa thuso ka re ko mokhanselara re mo voutetse mara ga ona sepe sa re irelang sone.
And you know, again, you know, just reiterating the problems that people have been having with the water here, but also importantly highlighting the fact that, you know, people are getting paid to provide the water, and unfortunately, you know, sometimes it doesn't get delivered. So this is from the house behind us. This is this from the tap, sir?
Yes. Yeah. Le ka ba holo. Nna ke tlo bua Setswana. Masepala wa rena wa Tshwane wa re feila ke metsi a tshwantsane ke motho a le nno wa ka tloa go sekolong o kry-a bana ba bantši ba lwala wa lebela stats bana ba ile hae ba ile di-doctor ba lwala re enough is enough a re bolela ka cancer no deliver no service la bona le ditsela di bjang lebela jarete re le motho ka yona aowa puso re thuseng re lapile re kopa thuso re thuseng re na le chapesana rena wa region mo I hope ena o tlo re pusha re dire godimo re lapile dilori di tseshana mo metseng mo di gella metsi ba re ba fa setšhaba se kry metsi di ya ka distrata di a rekisa 200 tanka ba no rena re phile bja re ka se phile ka metsi a di tšhila ga wa anwa re lositse di-member tsa community bo comrade Mukhondo ba ile le bana ba banyane ba ile re kopa puso re thuse masepala ona paletswe seng bjao re tlo tswalela ditsela wa ema lotso tsotlhe ra lebo.
And I'll tell you what, I apologize to the community that we didn't manage to get their names because we didn't know that people would want to actually come out and speak. We will get those names, and hopefully, you know, as the story progresses, we'll be able to insert people's names. But we do also have other representatives here from Sanko. I believe we have a regional chair. Is that regional chair? Yes. Sir, please step in. And please just give us your name and your designation and, you know, what is your response as a leader in this community when people are crying the way they are for something that is a basic human right?
Thank you, Sakina, and thank you to the viewers of SABC. We, as Sanko, we are very much shocked and very much disturbed about the situation. If you might remind the history way back. We went to the city of Tshwane handing a memorandum regarding the issue of Hammanskraal. Since the DA take over from the ANC-led government, in Brongospruit, as an example, there are no more clean water. So the issue of Hammanskraal is escalating, is going west, from bad to west. So we are not sure, because we've been mentioning this thing for many years, sitting with the mayor and his committee.
No.
And we're asking ourselves to say, what type of government do we have? ANC must rise above as well. They cannot keep always blaming the opposition. There are billions of corruption activities where the ANC was still in charge. Billions of rent were stolen. Billions of rent were stolen when the DA was led by Solim Simang. The Black Africa scandal, we can name this. The Peu scandal, well, there's a question to Ramko. We must not come here and grandstand and behave as if the ANC they are doing better. They must go to their drawing board and come with the solution, because the ANC is the answer. They are the only one that has got an experience. The DA does not have an experience of government. So they cannot blame the DA as if they want to be smart. It cannot be allowed.
And that is the point, isn't it? Because this is beyond politicking now.
Exactly.
People are dying. Children. One child has lost his life. Why should a child who hasn't even had a chance to live their life have to die from things that are preventable, actually? That situation cannot be acceptable.
You see, even to the ruling party, as our government to say they must come intervene without no things. The very same tenders that they are talking about, I was listening to the MNC talking about the tender. Those tenders, it's a pyramid scheme to milk the city funds.
Pyramid scheme by whom? Explain to us, because the MMC was talking about mafia syndicates running here. How does this pyramid scheme work?
It's a combined. Officials from the ANC, they are implicated. DA officials are implicated. They share this money from the water tankers in the expense of the poor. So there must be a serious intervention and investigation about these trucks, because the trucks cannot be there forever. Trucks are emergency.
That's a very serious allegation to make about members of the ANC and DA being implicated in what you refer to as a pyramid scheme with these trucks. Are you able to substantiate that?
Exactly. One of community members can attest to that, where the ANC secretary has intimidated one of our members while they were dealing with this issue of water, to say some of them, they will lose their life if they keep on talking nonsense regarding the issue of the water tanker. So I instructed them to open a case, a very serious case that we must run about, and that case must be investigated, and so that there were a lot of witnesses that they are there. We cannot leave this thing on a stone unturned because of people, in Tshwane there are mafia, people who are killing each other. But we as leaders of the community, we are willing to die, like Sanza Bupate and other comrades that have been dying for liberation. So if a leader of society, especially for the ruling party, is uttering an intimidation statement to the poor people.
Intimidation statement to the poor people, saying they will lose their life because in the boardroom they talk too much. Out of there, they are not going to get, they are going to face a bullet. So that's the issue that needs to be investigated, and we must not take that. That's very, very, we are taking this very serious. To do an investigation, he must tell us what is his interest on these trucks.
And these are very serious allegations, and of course I can imagine that there would be a right of reply sought in this regard, and it doesn't even have to be sought. We actually will offer it in terms of just explaining what is going on with these tankers, the community saying what they are saying, and also are you willing to share with us, even if it's not on air, perhaps off air, the councillor who made that threat to a member of the community?
No, it's not a councillor, it's an ANC official.
An ANC official from
Yes,
provincial, national?
Region, in the region. We will give that details in due course. If you want those details, we'll give them. As a leader of the society, I'm here, I get that report on Monday, I think. I came here, I get it, it was confirmed also by 2-3 members. So we are not going to leave this thing as a joke. We are going to take it serious, as I said. I have instructed them to open a case so that thing must be investigated. And we'll make a follow-up regarding the matter.
Thank you so much. And please keep us in the loop as well as this progresses, because as you can hear, this has literally become a matter of life and death, and not just with regard to the water, but threats being issued to members of the community. And I must also just apologize. We are struggling with the signal because everything seems to be a problem, all the infrastructure. And you look at the state of the roads, and that has to do in part also with the water that is running unabated on the streets here. So inevitably that would have an impact on the condition of the roads in this area. And of course, unfortunately, in some parts, there's a sewer waste that's running down the streets. And, when we entered, when we as the crew just looked around, we actually said, you can actually see why people are falling ill. There's no way you can't get sick under these conditions. But ma'am, you've also been here all morning. Please step in for me and just give us your name and what are your thoughts about what's happening here?
Okay, my name is Lungito Bejani, and then I'm a chairperson of Sanko here in North 76. Maybe it's not the first time I was fighting for the water for Hammanskraal. And then there's nothing is happening. Every time they are coming, they promise. Always they are coming, they give us a IDP statement. It's always the same. We don't have a budget in Hammanskraal. Always we don't have a budget in Hammanskraal. I don't know why we don't have a budget. And then I don't know how we're going to live if we don't have a budget. And then sometimes the government came every time. Every time they come, they look, we'll come back and fix, but they don't fix anything. And then if you can see the roads, we don't have the roads. It's not even a pothole now, it's a river now. So I don't know what's going on in Hammanskraal.
And unfortunately, this is the reality. I'm looking at people wanting to speak, and it's a really unfortunate situation with regard to what is going on here. And people are desperate to have their voices heard. And this is what we are trying to do. That is why we are here. This is the mandate of the SABC and public broadcast services. We're shining a light on the plight of the people and giving a voice to the people of Majaneng, the broader area. And of course, we're just going to try and go around as well, even after this broadcast, just to get a clearer sense of what is going on. But the situation is dire. I want to just ask one more person with regard to, I'll come back to you, Mayor. I just want to ask someone with regard to water and buying of water, because in terms of the water that people have to drink, I can imagine if people have to buy that water off grants that they receive, for example, how does that go? How do you cope? Someone just stepped into my right. Ma'am, you wanted to say something, but I before you tell me what you want to tell me, I just want to know the water that you drink. How do you go about that? Do you buy it? Do you try and, boil it and follow all the instructions that are given by the government to say try and purify your water as far as possible? Where do you get your drinking water from?
Ke nna Polena ke kana mo Lepengville, organizer of Sanko. Ka metsi bathong metsi ke tlhoba boroko bathong la itse. Ke hopola e le hore metsi ke dio tse lengwe hore o ka se dino ana le malele. Then re tlameile hore re ye ko bo counseling ro reka ro tshela metsi ko teng just because a rena ditšhelete tsa go reka metsi. Tshwantse re ye ko Themba ro reka ro tsa metsi ko teng ko Abel Council kwale, and then re boe hape re nwe hape. Ba bang ba boela metsi but ba lla hore metsi o no tshwana. Ha wa boela a tswa lehulo ka mohare. So ho no tshwana re reka metsi mara ho sna tšhelete o reka metsi o ira bjang. La utlwisisa. So ke tlhoba boroko mo Hammanskraal ntwe, please re kopa thuso, please. And then as moetapele wa rona a bolela Mr. Mashishi, ke one of them o eleng hore ke threatenilwe ko Jubilee re le ko meeting ka Monday. Ne re bolela about the trucker hore trucker tshwantse di emisiwe, as MEC a bolela hore di trucker tshwantse di oketsiwe. We say di oketsiwa bjang just because the trucker ke tsone tse di causang trouble ya metsi. Then kante ba re lebeletse that guys ba eleng hore ke ba ANC or whatever, I don't know. So they come to us mo ne re mo teng ge ba fitla ba bolela the way ba re butsa ka di trucker re no re to di stopa di trucker re a re sa di batla. Then abe a re mo rona are you can be a hero here but outside re ta o betha ka sethunya. So ne ke na le ka sethunya mo. So ke shocked le no a ke tsore bophelo baka bo mo kae.
Hold on, did you say they actually pointed it at you?
They pointed at me.
So
o boletse go nna hore sesi o ka no bolela ka di trucker, but you can be a hero here. But when it at the hospital.
So this person threatens you and literally points with a finger.
No, you with a finger.
Oh, okay.
Yes, with a finger. So hona mo maphelo a rena a koka ka re lwala baagi re le sanko. So maphelo a rena hora ha safe. Se ke bolela yesterday ne ke tsamaya le lori tshwantse lori ha e tlhahella before re check metsi hore metsi ao a skono o re bjana re patela ke mang hona mo hore re tse karolo ya hore metsi tshwantse ra check before hore batho before banwa hore ba tsere ko kae o tshwantse o tsamaye le lori o ye yesterdays go bontsha re e show hore lori eo e hella metsi ko yesterdays se ka re ko ona le skono metsi ao. So re kopa thuso bathong re le setšhaba re le community re le ba re go thusa community re kopela thuso mo lona hore reducing government, please ra khopela. If this thing is between the politician elwang ka bolona let's get la community just because maphelo a community re tlo re le go votelwa mara la re bolaya eng re irile eng so re lapile re shapo ka lona. Thank you.
Just a quick one. Did you actually lay a charge for the intimidation, the threat that was made against your life?
No, ke gona ke tloya ko bula ntwe ko bula case just because ne ke le shocked even ke tsamaile le one of our comrade ka koloi hore ke be safe just because ne re sa itse hore ba eme ko kae ne ba bontsha ile gore ba monto eng bona ba targetile ba kitse mekatlo e mengwe so ne ke se safe so right now ke tloya ko bula case.
But are you scared?
I'm scared just because I don't know what about my life. I don't know. So I'm so scared. I don't know but I'm going to fight. Re tlo lwa as re le ba Sanko re sa tle le holwa re le setšhaba hape we are going to fight madi ha tsholoha a tsholohe bokaone just because re enough so ke kopa fela ba setšhaba sa Hammanskraal mo Lepengville re kopa support even though le ka ke sa bolela hape about the councillor